Eye drops. A simple over-the-counter solution for dry eyes, allergies, or redness. We trust them to soothe and protect our eyes. But what if these tiny bottles harbored something sinister? In 2023, several brands of eye drops were recalled, linked to severe infections, blindness, and even deaths. This is a story of how a trusted remedy became a bottled promise of peril. Over-the-counter medications have been a cornerstone of self-care for centuries. From the earliest apothecaries to modern-day pharmacies, these accessible remedies allow us to treat common ailments without prescription. Eye drops, in particular, have long been a staple of those seeking quick relief for minor eye irritations. Regulating bodies like the FDA were established to ensure safety and efficacy. However, over-the-counter drugs, especially those like eye drops, often escape rigorous scrutiny, assuming safety based on their non-prescription status. The convenience of these medications comes from a caveat. They must be safe and free from contamination. But what happens when that trust is broken? The eye drop contamination saga began with the detection of a rare drug-resistant bacterium named Pseudomonas aeruginosa. This rod-shaped bacterium, often smelling of corn tortilla in a petri dish, is a microscopic menace, particularly deadly to those with compromised health. Among the vulnerable, the mortality rate can soar to 50%. But what happens when this superbug, resistant to most antibiotics, finds its way into something as seemingly innocuous as eye drops? This bacterium was found in multiple brands of eye drops, leading to a massive recall. But how did it get there? It all began in May of 2022 when an unusual virulent strain of Pseudomonas aeruginosa was identified in a hospital patient in Los Angeles, California. Over the next few months, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, detected more cases in Connecticut, Utah, and beyond. The common thread? Over-the-counter medication. Specifically, Ezricare, artificial tears, a preservative-free, over-the-counter product packaged in multi-purpose bottles. This product, along with Dalsam Pharma artificial tears and artificial ointment, was found to be contaminated. Patients reported using 10 different brands of artificial tears from Ezricare, which was the most commonly reported. It was only common artificial tears product which had been identified across 4 healthcare facility clusters. Laboratory testing by the CDC found the outbreak strain in open bottles from multiple lots, collected from patients with and without eye infections in 2 states. The FDA also identified the bacterial contamination in unopened bottles of Ezricare's artificial tears, with further characterization of the contaminations ongoing. By May 2023, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in partnership with the states and the local health authorities, identified 81 patients across 18 states in the United States. When the FDA inspectors finally visited the Global Farmers facility in February of 2023, they found brown residue in filling machines and untrained workers using dirty equipment. But by then, the damage was done. It was then believed that the contamination likely occurred during the manufacturing process. Sterilization protocols were likely mismanaged, leading to the spread of harmful bacteria. The eye drops were marketed as preservative-free, which meant they lacked chemicals to prevent bacterial growth. Typically, such drops are sold in single-use vials to maintain sterility, but Global Pharma opted for a cheaper multi-dose bottle. The FDA's automated system, which relies heavily on paperwork, failed to flag the critical flaw. The danger stemmed from the product's inherent vulnerability to contamination. Without preservatives, in a multi-dose container, the eye drops became a breeding ground for Pseudomonas aeruginosa. The bacteria thrived, spreading infections that led to severe consequences such as blindness and death. Contaminated water, unsanitary conditions, faulty equipment could have introduced the bacteria into the products. This wasn't an isolated issue. Around the same time, another Pseudomonas outbreak in Norway was traced to contaminated pre-moistened washcloths. The global supply chain for generic drugs is riddled with regulatory gaps, leading to similar health crises in other countries. Patients who had used Esricare or Dalsam Pharma's artificial tears and artificial eye ointment had signs and symptoms of the eye infection, such as yellow or green or clear discharge from the eye pain, redness of the eye or the eyelid, feeling of something in your eye such as a foreign body, increased sensitivity to light or even blurry vision. Victims like Clara Oliver, a retiree from Florida, lost her vision entirely. Her story, like many others, is one that's irreversible in damage and shattered a life. Since the outbreak, the FDA has been criticized for its lack of oversight. Despite the severity of the situation, accountability remains elusive. Global Pharma continues to operate, with shipments reaching Europe and other markets. Meanwhile, the FDA faces scrutiny and calls for reform. There have been some steps forward. The Biden administration has proposed a budget increase for the FDA and aims to improve inspections and regulatory measures. Yet significant challenges remain in ensuring drug safety, especially for products entering the United States from abroad. Well, what can we do? Unfortunately, not a lot. All three products have been voluntarily recalled by the manufacturer: Global Pharma, Dalsam Pharma, and Esricare. No other products have been linked to this outbreak. The tragedy of these toxic eye drops is a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities in our healthcare systems. It's a call to action for some stringent oversight and better safeguards to protect public health. While the victims continue to seek justice, the rest of us must remain vigilant, ensuring that the promise of safety is in every bottle and it's not just an empty guarantee. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Like button for likes, dislike button for dislikes. Subscribe to support. See you next time.